peoples, Kyushu92 here with a little bit of my thoughts and my theories on what we're going to be seeing with Oden's adventure with the Roger Pirates and Gold Roger himself. Now, I've been thinking about this for a minute, and all the adventures of the Roger Pirates and all the things that are leading up to Oden joining them, and then the adventures we're going to eventually see with him traveling with the Roger Pirates for who knows how long. It got me thinking about the different things that Oden could possibly see while he's there. So I've already come up with the theory that Lady Toki is the one who teaches him how to make poneglyphs, because it's from the Kozuki family that poneglyphs are made. And during the history of One Piece, we know that poneglyphs were created by the Kozuki family, and only the Kozuki family themselves know how to make it. And we all know what poneglyphs are. Poneglyphs are big, giant stone blocks that have writing on them that are pretty much indestructible, with 4 of them being used to make the road poneglyphs, of which determines the location of Raftel, the resting place of Gold Roger's treasure, the One Piece. And all the other poneglyphs, they have like different information from different people and so many different things on them. And it got me thinking, like, what else is Oden going to see on his adventure with the Roger Pirates? Now, the thing that kind of stuck out with me is Oden could possibly not only find out what the Will of D means while he's with Roger, because you remember Roger was talking to Whitebeard way back. I don't know if it was like after Oden went back to Wano and both Roger and Whitebeard spoke to each other, or they met with each other while Oden was still on his crew. But Roger tells Whitebeard the Will of D and what it means. So I'm wondering, could we possibly learn what the Will of D means with Oden on Roger's crew, or is that going to be like some really big mystery still held out until the next time we see celestial dragons and then there's some big turmoil? It could be something like that. But I was wondering, Oden's going to be traveling with the Roger Pirates. What all is he going to see? Because another thing that made the Roger Pirates very notorious across the board is not only were they the strongest pirate crew in the world, and Gold Roger did what the world thought was impossible, which was completely conquer the Grand Line, and also amassed a vast fortune that no one else had ever been able to do in his time. And with his death, he's jump-started the golden age of piracy. But the other thing that made him and his crew very notorious with the world government, and with the world government considering him a very sizable threat, is the fact that they know the history of the world. Now, they're not scholars. Rayleigh did what back in the Sabaody Archipelago. Rayleigh does tell Robin. I don't know why I keep calling people by their last names. Nico Robin is not her first. Nico is not her first name. It's her last name. But it just got me thinking that the Roger Pirates know the history of the world. They know it, but like Rayleigh told Robin, they weren't scholars, so it wasn't like real information that they could use to their advantage, because none of them were like really big intellectuals. They were smart, they had street smarts, but they didn't have book smarts. So it got me thinking, could we learn a little bit of like the Void Century either from Lady Toki traveling with Oden with the Roger Pirates, or could we find different information about the Void Century? Sorry, something's in my eye. Or could we find out different information about the Void Century while they're out traveling? Now, the thing that kind of has me thinking a little bit is maybe during the travels of Oden and Roger, when Lady Toki teaches Oden how to create poneglyphs, that's how they end up being scattered all around the world. He pretty much carves up the poneglyphs themselves with either hidden messages that only certain smart people can figure out, or she tells him the history of the Void Century, and he chisels these in each of these poneglyphs and leads them around the world as he's traveling with the Roger Pirates. That's what I'm thinking. Another thing about the Will of D is I feel like we could possibly learn it when he's traveling with Roger, or we could learn it further down the line when next we see the celestial dragons, like I said before, and we're back at Marijois, or Im-sama will say it, or if he ever decides to speak, or something like that. But I feel like with Oden being in Roger's crew, there's going to be a lot about the world of One Piece that we're going to find out, because, I mean, this is Gold Roger. He's pretty much one of the most pivotal figures in all of One Piece. So with Oden, who is also equally as pivotal, because a lot of the things he's done in his history has pretty much led a lot of different characters together. I mean, if it wasn't for Oden learning how to make poneglyphs and put them around the world, then the people of O'Hara would not have learned to try and learn to decipher them. Of course, that kind of got their entire civilization pretty much buster called, with only Nico Robin being the only one that's left. But without the poneglyphs, we would not have Nico Robin, or we wouldn't have Nico Robin with the Straw Hat crew right now. And there's so much information about the world we wouldn't know if Oden had not joined, if it wasn't for Oden. So Oden is quite as much pivotal to the entire story of One Piece as Roger is. So I know I'm just going off on a tangent here, but I'm just thinking of, like, what all are we going to see? Are we going to see, like, younger versions of Big Mom and Kaido and everybody? Well, I know we're going to see Kaido. That's obvious. That's obvious, because leading up to Oden's death, it's going to lead up to, you know, him first running into Kaido, and eventually his battle with Kaido that gives him this first and only scar on Kaido's body. But overall, the subject matter I'm just thinking of is, while we may see a lot with Whitebeard and Oden, I'm kind of wondering, what more outlandish things are we going to see when Oden joins up with Roger? And the matter is, how is he going to join up with Roger? Are Roger and Whitebeard just going to meet each other and then they have like an exchange? Or are they going to meet on the battlefield where they're fighting each other, and then it leads to Oden deciding to go with the Roger Pirates because he wants to adventure more, and Whitebeard wants to do something else? These are questions that I'm asking people, but I'm not expecting anyone to give me a definite answer. I'm just shooting these ideas out to you. There's a lot about Oden that we still have yet to figure out. Will he learn how to wield Conqueror's Haki when he's with Roger and the crew? Because we all know that pretty much a vast majority of people, or a good chunk of people on Roger's ship, are able to use Conqueror's Haki. Roger's able to use it, Rayleigh's able to use it, and Oden is going to be able to use it as well, yet he has yet to use it up until this point in the story. So it's just making me wonder if, when he joins Roger's crew, is that something that's going to happen while he's traveling with Roger? Will he learn how to use Conqueror's Haki, and will he also learn how to use basically anything else while he's traveling? Another thing I'm wondering, will Lady Toki continue to accompany him with Roger, or will she make her way back to Wano? That's just things that I'm wondering, because Oden's going to join Roger on his final voyage. Now, it makes me wonder, will Lady Toki join Oden with Roger on that final voyage, or will she be back in Wano? Because at some point, him and Lady Toki are going to... and she's probably going to need to be back at Wano in order to have Hiyori and Momonosuke. So, it's just making me wonder, how long will this adventure go? How long will it take? Because it's got to be longer than 9 months that he's going to be spending with Whitebeard or with Oden in order for Lady Toki to have Hiyori and Momonosuke. So I'm just throwing out some theories here, just throwing out my ideas, because I kind of had it in my head and I kind of wanted to make a video for you guys. But you guys let me know what you think about the things we could potentially see, because we're coming off of break of One Piece after this week is over. So the next week, this upcoming week, we're gonna have that eventual chapter of One Piece on either Thursday or Friday. You guys know I like to keep double check. But once again, you guys let me know what you think is going to happen as Oden travels with Roger, and what we should expect, or what we could possibly expect. Could we see information about the Void Century, about Lady Toki coming from 800 years ago? Could she tell us about the history of the world leading up to this point? Will she teach Oden how to make poneglyphs? Or will Oden learn how to use Conqueror's Haki? Or Will we see more of Orochi and whatever he's doing in Wano? Or how he is able to run into Kaido and they both team up in order to take down Oden later in the later years? What happens to Whitebeard after Oden? What is going to happen to Whitebeard after Oden joins up with Roger? They just continue on their way? I would not be surprised if at that point, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Teach. I'm spitballing here, but around what time did Teach join Whitebeard's crew? It'd be funny if they run into... Ooh. It'd be funny if they run into Teach while Oden is with Whitebeard. Then it leads to a fight with the Roger Pirates, and that is the moment where Teach gives Shanks those scars across his eye. Maybe? I don't know. I'm just throwing theories out here. Some of them sound good. Some of them, I know, they sound out there. But once again, you guys let me know what you think of this, of all of this as a whole. What can we possibly expect from Oden's adventure as he transitions from the Whitebeard Pirates to the Roger Pirates? I'm excited to find out more, because any more adventures of Oden and Roger and Whitebeard, maybe I'm looking forward to it. Will we see Marco get his devil fruit? I don't know. But there's so many things to consider here, because you pretty much can let your imagination run wild with all these theories, because any of them sounds plausible. But like I said, and I know I've said this like, 4 times? You guys let me know what you think about these as a whole, and let me know what you would like to expect, or what are your theories about what could possibly happen with Oden's adventure from Whitebeard to Roger. So with that being said, hope y'all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in the next videos. Have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples.